Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so... Hello, friends. I'm Wire Guitars. I just recently hit 4.5k MMR. Playing pretty much exclusively Earth Spirit. I play a lot of this hero. You may know that from watching my other vids or from watching the stream. But I'm here to show you guys kind of a little bit about how to play Earth Spirit. And specifically, I want to go over his combos. Because the hardest thing that new players seem to think there is to playing this hero, even though it's not probably the hardest thing. This is something that you'll actually get down in about 50 games or so. But the hardest thing that every new player has to grasp when they're trying to play Earth Spirit is like stone management, combos, and I guess aiming a little bit. Although this hero is pretty easy to aim on, and I'll show you what I mean. Level up. Let's just level up to 6 first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. So I'm gonna get a blink actually. This is just a custom game because I'm trying to demonstrate some stuff. All right. So let's get some things out of the way. First and foremost, this hero is not incredibly hard to play. He's got some frustration elements to him. You know, there's some things that you're gonna do when you're playing him that are gonna frustrate you if you fuck it up. But for the most part, this hero is not hard to play. And why is he not hard to play? Let's go over that. A lot of people think when they first start playing, I know that I thought this when I first started playing Earth Spirit, that when you drop a stone and you try to kick it, you need to like aim it, like the hero's over here. So you got to be like you got to like kick it like that, you know, or like you got to kick it like this if you want to hit a hero that's down there. You got to kick it from the stone. That is not true at all. And learning this one trick that I'm about to teach you will literally make you 100% better at Earth Spirit. Literally 100. It will take whatever you're doing right now and just double it, because this is how good this trick is, okay? If you're standing next to a stone and you kick it, right, in the direction of the thing that you want to get kicked at, not from the base point, but from the actual thing that you're trying to kick it at in general, it will kick it to it. It will kick your hero will find the nearest stone within like a 300 unit radius and just kick it towards that. Did you see that? I had the stone over here, cursor's over here. I bet it's going to kick it right to that cursor. Watch. It did. I can show that one more time. Watch it just, boom, go right over that cursor. All right, that is like first and foremost, learn that. Learn that, understand it, live it. Okay, because that makes your Earth Spirit so much better if you understand that trick right there. I don't even want to call it a trick. That's just basic things. That makes everything 10 times easier. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you. Because that suddenly makes it so that if you want to kick, pull, roll somebody that's like running over here, you just kick, then just pull and roll. And you'll notice that I'm using Quick Cast. I have a guide on that. You should check it out if you're curious. Basically, I always recommend Quick Cast on this hero. But anyways, because we're not talking about Quick Cast, we're talking about combos. So what did I say earlier? I said a quick pull roll, kick pull roll combo. That's your standard Earth Spirit combo. That is the most bang for your buck. If you are playing an ideal situation as Earth Spirit, usually your opponent will be way over here. You'll kick him, it'll pass through him, you'll pull him. Like, sorry, I kind of screwed that up. You'll kick this, I'll explain it first and then I'll do it. You'll kick this stone, it'll hit them, it'll start the stun, or no, actually, I take that back. Your ideal situation is never really ideal. Because everything, Earth Spirit's kind of about, let me explain, this is kind of weird. This is like some philosophy about it. But Earth Spirit's kind of about balance. You can never have a 100% perfect scenario. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you can never perfectly chain CC between all three of your abilities, your stun, your silence, your kick, or your slow, while also being stone conservative. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you can never kick, pull, and roll someone. I'm sorry, it looked like I pulled two. I just meant to pull one. You can never kick, pull, and roll on someone and effectively use all of your crowd control. Everything will either overlap or you'll end up using more stones. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you want to perfectly balance out your stone usage, or perfectly chain your CC like it's a Slark, right? You don't want the Slark to have any moments of getawayness, right? If he pops his ulti, you know he's gonna get away, and your team's sitting there beating on him. So you stun him, right? And then you can pull him, and then you can roll into him. But notice, I had to use 2 stones, right? Everything that Earth Spirit is about balance and trade-off. A lot of people think this hero's overpowered. Maybe he is. Maybe he is for the competitive scene. But for the normal scene, for the solo queue scene, I think he's fairly balanced. Because Like, he's balanced by nature. He's all about balance. He's all about either he's about trade-offs, right? You don't get anything on Earth Spirit for free, I guess, other than your stones, right? You start the game with 6 stones, and stones are free, I guess. But the usage of your stones has to be balanced out. Otherwise, you will not play this hero effectively. So if I put a stone down, I kick, I pull, and a roll like that, some of my CC is going to overlap. Either my slow and my silence are going to get overlapped, or my silence and my stun are going to get overlapped. But there's going to be an overlapping of your crowd control, right? You'll do all of your damage. You have 500 damage between all of your abilities when you hit level 11, right? When I hit level 11, if you level up your skills properly, right? You don't put points into boulder like that. You have 500. You have 200, 400, 500, and then your ulti is even more, right? You have a lot of CC. You have a lot of damage, but you don't really have a whole lot of mana, I guess. I'm getting off on a tangent, sorry. But yeah. You got a lot of shit going on, you know? You got a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff. But it's not without balance. That's what I'm trying to say here. Is this hero has balance in some way. I don't know if it's like balance, like competitive Dota viable balance, you know? But there's balance to his kit. And you, as the Earth Spirit hero, need to manage that. As the Earth Spirit player, you need to manage that. You need to identify the situation and understand. This is like where 50% of this hero's skill comes in, is understanding each situation and what it calls for. So, the kick, pull, roll combo is probably the most balanced out of this entire, it's like the most well-rounded. You use 1 stone, because you kick it, you pull it, and then you roll it. That's 1 stone for all 3 of your abilities. You use your stun first and then your silence. You follow up your stun with your silence, usually. If the target is nearby, you will usually hit your stun before your silence. If they're like way far away, like way over here, and like it's very possible that you could silence and stun the person at the same time, which is not ideal. But generally speaking, if you're like melee range with somebody, you're gonna kick, pull, and then roll like that. You're gonna roll into them and silence them at around the same time. But your stun isn't gonna be overlapped by your silence, so they'll be stunned for a while, then they'll be silenced for a while, and it'll be most balanced because, like I said, you only use 1 stone. But if you're not aiming if you're trying to maximize your CC, then a better combo to do might be the pull and then kick. And that's not really a combo so much, that's more like a lane combo. Like, maybe not even a lane combo, because you don't, generally speaking, want to use your pull for damage in lane, because you're not maxing it first. This is kind of like a, I don't know, this is, it's hard to explain this ability. It's also kind of bad because it doesn't set your stone up for you, like, to use later on. Like, it's all the way over there, watch. You pull it, you can pull it, but you kick it so far away, you cannot roll with that stone. It's kind of nice for lane, in a way, if you don't pull it, if you just put stones down and kick them. It's really nice to have stones back there, because when you ult someone and you start chasing them, they're going to start wanting to run backwards, usually. Usually people don't try to fight you as an Earth Spirit, right? Because you have an insane strength gain, you have 2.9 strength gain, that's like one of the higher ends of the game. And then also, when you're sitting there, like, chasing them, if they try to turn around and fight you, you can always just roll away and then place stones while you're rolling away and shit, you know? Like, they usually try to run. I don't know. Unless you're really low on HP. But they try to run away. And when they try to run away, well, guess what they're running into? More stones that you have perfectly placed back there. So it's kind of nice for that reason. That's why in 6.82, when they nerfed him, they kind of buffed him also. Like, they mostly nerfed him, but they buffed him because you want to upgrade your kick first. And so now, in the laning phase, right, in the laning phase, to get last hits, you're kicking targets. And so when you're kicking targets, your stone's going to be all the way over there. So that once you hit level 6, right, this is, I don't know why nobody thinks about how this was kind of a buff, but this was kind of a buff. You're going to be kicking all these stones back here, and then you're going to have the lane equilibrium still going to be over here. You're going to ult the target, they're going to start running, and instead of pulling all your creeps like that and having all your stones nearby, now all of your stones are way back here, because you've been kicking them the whole lane, and they last for fucking ever. Look at that. 2 minutes. So you got like 2 or 3 stones all the way back here. You're chasing your target. You don't even need to place stones because they're just going to run into them. And then you got over here, and you can just you can save your stones for when you're trying to tower dive them, because that's when they're most effective. Because you don't want to be tower diving people for too long in their spirit at level 6. But yeah, anyways, trying to talk about combos, and I'll talk about combos. So we've talked about the kick, pull, roll, and how that's the most balanced and, I guess, versatile in situations. Like, it's the most balanced. I guess maybe it's the least versatile because it's the most balanced. It's not really flexible in any way. It's just kind of tight-knit, balanced. It's like it gives you everything that you want in a very conservative stone cost, right? We can make a stone cost chart for Earth Spirits, right? Kick, pull, roll, it's one stone cost. The pull kick, that's 1 stone cost, but it's like 1.5 because you don't get to use the stone that well afterwards. The one that people like to do often, right, when they're ganking, is the pull slow, I guess pull, roll, kick, right? When you pull the stone, then you roll, and then you kick the target afterwards. But if you miss it, you have to use 2 stones. Because if I miss my target when I'm doing this, if my target's right here and I just missed him, I have to use another stone to kick him. So there's some element to that. And also, just in general, it can be kind of hard to aim this in the early game because the pull does not stun like it used to. It used to be, like, this used to be a stun. Pull used to be stun. Q used to be silence. Those were the days, right? But when those were the days, it was really easy because you would stun them and you would guaranteed hit your roll like 100% of the time, and then you just kick the target afterwards like that, kind of. Alright. Talked a little bit about that. Those are really it. Like, a lot of people try to make this hero a big deal when he's really not. Right? If you add items into the mix, you have some more combos, but I'm not a huge fan of getting items like Blink Dagger or Force Staff anymore. Not nearly as much as I used to be. When I first started playing this hero, I thought, man, mobility is key. Like, I've already got so much mobility, why not get more? Well, I don't know, maybe I'm just like flaunting here, but I'll show you. Right? Between Force Staff and Blink, like, it's nice to have this kind of mobility. Not this kind of mobility, I have WTF on WTF. Right? It's nice to have the mobility to be able to move like 5,000 units in a short duration. Let's see how long I can move. I can move pretty far in a very short duration of time. I was right over here, like in between my tier 1 and tier 2, and now I'm over here. It's nice to be able to move that far, but it's not really practical for game usage unless you have an Aghanim Scepter, and you throw an Aghanim Scepter on, because then once you get an Aghanim Scepter, you can move that far of a distance, capture the person, pull them to you, and then kick them away. In fact, maybe I can even show that, right? I'm going to show that. Spawn hero, wait. Create hero, lion, enemy. This is the only situation that I can really immediately recall off of memory where this is where it's nice to have this much mobility. It basically means that anybody on the map is a free catch. Like everybody is caught, it's just your decision as to whether or not you want to catch them. So let's find out where the lion is exactly. Lion's over here. We're gonna move lion up here. I'm all the way over here at my ancients, right? On WTF. And lion is right here. I bet I can catch that guy with axe, watch. This is the one nice thing about the mobility. And you can like chase him or some shit. I don't know. Like, look at that. I traveled this far and I threw him this far. Like, it's pretty insane to have this much mobility on Earth Spirit, but it's just not practical. And you have a lot less utility, barring your mobility. Your mobility is your utility, and I'd rather my mobility isn't my utility. I'd rather my utility be through healing, or I guess defensiveness, right? I'd rather have defensiveness than utility in some cases, like buying items like Mechanism. I really like Mechanism on Earth Spirit. I can't drop Axe after I buy it, which is unfortunate because I think I need to make some space. I like to buy Yules. Yules is actually a really good item on this hero in some certain circumstances. I like to buy Blade Mail sometimes. I like to usually get Arcane Boots. I always get. So, I'm sorry, this isn't... I wouldn't have a Blink Dagger. I can't drop all my items and show you what my end game build would look like usually, because your end game build is very versatile. Because you're Earth Spirit, you're one of the most versatile heroes in the entire fucking game. Earth Spirit is... I think he's the quintessential definition of, like, I can build anything and probably make it work in some way. I'm trying to think of items that are really bad on him, and it's kind of hard to come up with... Like, look at this. Everything in my situational items, except for this heart. Get the fuck out of there. Everything in my situational items is actually something I bought in a real game, including Shiva's. Including Radiance, right? Including Radiance, including BKB. Usually this is when I'm just trying to, like, troll. Like, the game is over and I'm just trying to finish it. I do think it's a legit buy, but only if you're, like, 30-0 or 15-0, more practically. BKB, I've only bought it once, but I think it was situational, or I think it's very situational, but I think it could be good. Shiva's pretty situational as well, but it's nice for the mana. It's really nice for tanking up a little bit. It's nice to give you a little bit of extra burst, I guess you could say, on your already good burst with the 200 AoE damage. Ags I've bought plenty of times. Dagon, I've bought it a few times. I don't really like it, but it's pretty good if you're just trying to end a game and there's only one person that you're concerned about. Battle Fury, somebody mentioned in the chat for a second. I'm going to say Battle Fury is an item that I've gotten before. Earth Spirit does have a line when you buy Battle Fury. Listen really closely. And he says something else too. If you get
Your middle tower is under attack.
Furious Blade for a Tranquil Mind. Yeah, he does have 2 lines for Battle Fury. The only time I really get Battle Fury is when the enemy has megas, and it's like it's time one of us gets right click, right? And I have 1 with it. I don't think it's good. Right click, I guess, yeah. So let me talk about that. Earth Spirit's one of the few heroes in the game that can make any build work other than right click. And even that's debatable if I'm playing a pup game and I don't really care about winning, right? If I don't really care about winning, I could go Sanjin Yasha, Battle Fury, or no, I'd probably, I'm not even going to give it the time of day to try to theory craft a build around it, but maybe I'll do it some game. Watch the stream, boys. I'll show you one of these days. I'll play right click Earth Spirit, but not today. But yeah, you're a very versatile hero, right? In your item build choices. So you need to make the most of it, right? You can build anything, and you can build anything and everything and make it work. But the situation on a game per game basis is very, very much the key element here. It's the thing that decides it. In fact, let's take a quick look. I think we can learn something here. If we take a quick look at my Dota buff and see just how many times I've bought the same repeat item every game. I will say, oops, Earth Spirit. I do build Arcanes and Bottle almost every single game, right? But recently I like Yules. Sometimes I get Urn, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get Mech, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get Axe. Sometimes I get Lotus Orb and Yules when I'm trying to play like a 4 Protect 1. Sometimes I even get Orchid when I'm trying to silence like an Invoker. Glimmer Cape is a good item. Blade Mail is a good item. What else? Boots of Travel in the super late game can be very, very good. Veil when you're trying to end a game. Sanjin Yasha. I'm trying to build Sanjin Yasha just to influence the win rate on the item. I think it'd be really funny if Dota Buff showed that the win rate for Sanjin Yasha on Earth Spirit has increased. That's the only reason I build it. I do not build it because I'm actually taking the game seriously. I build it when, look at this game, 10-1, 7-3. We weren't going to lose those games, I promise you. So I built it just to fuck around. But Radiance, Solar Crest. Solar Crest used to be really good, and then it got nerfed, and I don't really like it too much anymore, but it's still okay. It used to round out the hero really well. Like, you used to be kind of bad at taking Roshan. Solar Crest made you really good at taking Roshan. Now, Solar Crest just kind of makes you okay at taking Roshan. With your team. With your team, of course. Like, speeding up the Roshan process so you can guarantee it. Scythe. If you can afford a Scythe, Scythe and Yules are like super good. You are the disabling king with Scythe and Yules. It's so good. But yeah, Glimmer Cape, I think I said. Necro Book, I've built it a few times. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's nice if you're trying to end a game really quickly. A lot of items that are really good, depending on the situation, if you're trying to end a game really quickly. And that's the key takeaway here, is that Earth Spirit is a hero of versatility. It's all about having the game knowledge and I guess having the game skill, right? To end the game quickly. I've talked this game for maybe 5 minutes briefly about combos and how they're kind of important in terms of balancing out your stone usage, you know? Realizing that every combo you do either has a price in terms of the CC overlap, in terms of the stone usage, or in terms of the mana, right? Every single one of your combos has a price in some way. It's all about how you do it. But I haven't talked nearly as much about that as I have items. Because, I mean, and I'm not saying that the most important thing about Earth Spirit is his item choices. I'm just saying that he's a very versatile hero, and knowing which items to build is the most important thing, okay? If you're building shit like Vanguard, then you're gonna lose that game, okay? If you're first, I saw this Earth Spirit yesterday. It was in low MMR. I was coaching somebody, and he had an Earth Spirit in his game with him, and the Earth Spirit built a Vanguard, and I almost cried because it's like you're not playing that well if you're building items that don't have some sort of versatility in their usage, right? Vanguard makes you tanky, but it doesn't give you the ability to just say, hey, fuck everybody that's trying to focus me in a fight for a few seconds like Blade Mail does, okay? Vanguard just makes you tanky, and it's not like Crimson Guard's a bad item, but Crimson Guard's a pretty bad item on Earth Spirit, right? Good item, not that good on Earth Spirit. Makes you a little bit more tanky, gives you an ability that you can use on your team. I guess I haven't really tried it too much. Maybe I could try it. It seems just really excessively expensive. Like, for a Crimson Guard that doesn't solve your mana problems in any way, it gives you +2 attributes, and that's it for your mana, right? It doesn't help you in the mana regard. Mostly it just makes you tanky. Health regen is almost always wasted on Earth Spirit, because either you're going to get a bottle or you're going to get an urn. Either way, you should pretty much always be full health unless you're in a fight. Right, so you don't need the health regen at all. The armor is kind of nice. The health is really nice. But, like, other than the active, man, like, you're not getting a whole lot out of this item. I think this item is good. I just don't think it's that good on Earth Spirit. You're so enthusiastic right now. I know, man. I'm so passionate because I'm very passionate about this hero. And that's what I want to relay to the community here, right? If nobody watches any of my videos, I want them to watch this video, right? And the like-in video. Just because I think this hero has a lot of things that he could provide to a team, even lower MMR, right? I don't think, if you're 2K MMR and you're afraid to play Earth Spirit because you're concerned that he's just too hard and that you're not going to be able to play him, don't worry about that. Like, play the hero. He's very, very good, and even in like 2K brackets where you're screwing things up constantly, right? You can still get a lot of enjoyment out of this hero. You can still really excel with this hero if you build him and play him right. Again, I don't know if he's overpowered, but I know, and like for the competitive scene, maybe he's overpowered. Right? I don't know how he would work in Pro Dota, but in Pub Dota, I think he's one of the better heroes. I don't think he's necessarily overpowered, or I don't think he's as overpowered as some of the other heroes out there in the game, right? Like 6.82 Sniper, Troll Warlord, and Sniper, Troll Warlord, who else was? I don't know. Sniper, Troll Warlord, and some other hero were the dominant picks in 6.82. 6.83, we had the Bloodseeker phase, right? I think, right? And then 6.84 was like Leshrac, and yeah, now 6.85 we're seeing a lot of Alchemist, right? I don't think Air Spirit was ever like better than those heroes, right? But I think he's consistently very, very good for solo queue. For solo queue. Disclaimer: that's for solo queue. But yeah, so he might get nerfed again just because they're trying to make him viable for the captain's mode, for the competitive scene as well. They don't just want this hero to be a pub stomper, right? They want this hero to be in captain's mode, and so they might nerf him again. Who knows? But unless they absolutely butcher the hero, I still think he's going to be good, even if they nerf him again. What I would like to see him nerfed, or what I would like to see nerfed about him, if I had to nerf him in any way, would be his cooldown on his ulti. Make it 20 seconds longer. Make it 100 seconds at all ranks. Or make it scale down or some shit like that. I don't know. It's just too short at level 1. I can kill someone, go back to base, or go get a rune, and by the time they get back into the lane, I can probably just kill them again with it if I have stones. It makes it so that as long as you're good with your stones, the ulti is like way too short of a cooldown at lower ranks. Like, it's just too punishing if you're a good player, I guess, and you can conserve your stones and use them wisely. Also, maybe hurt his strength gain a little bit. I think the hero needs a little bit more of a passive playstyle in team fights, where he's just mostly he's like a support hero, kind of. You're casting out your spells and you're getting off good ultis if you can, right? And he's just, at the moment, he's a little bit, maybe he's a little too tanky, right? I saw this video where the Sir Spirit had literally everything thrown on him, and his team backed him up in a few ways, but he just mech'd, blade mailed, used all of his active items, and just, like, walked out. And it's not like he was unscathed, he was really low HP, but he should probably die when he's focused in a team fight. I usually do when I play my games. You guys probably know I'm pretty bad, but a better Earth Spirit would not die just because 3 people are focusing him, and maybe that needs to change. But yeah, that's my Earth Spirit. I hope that you guys learned something from that. If you guys didn't, please let me know. That's the best way I can learn, is from feedback. But yeah, hope you guys did learn something. Peace out.